Hi, this is Darcy Hawker, EDL 856, and this is my case study. Category 1, Problem Identification and Analysis. What do I know about this case study? Number 1, currently there is no PTO/PTA organization at John F. Kennedy School. Number 2, Mrs. Rose just completed her admin degree and is new to this job, and I am making an assumption that she's also new to this community. Number 3, the principal agrees after some time to try to increase parental involvement via a parents advisory group, but absolutely no PTO or PTA. And he has given her permission to schedule a meeting to find out whether parents would even be interested. Number 4, an announcement was made and distributed to parents on a Friday, and the meeting was to be held on the following Monday. What do I need to know? Number 1, it would be helpful to know if there were previous parent organizations and what their purpose was, their level of involvement, and why they were not successful. Number 2, I need to know more about the background of parents within the community, their socioeconomic backgrounds, ethnic makeup, who were the movers and shakers in the community, who could help, and the internal and external publics. Number 3, how does the school communicate typically with the community, and what is the district's policy on that communication? Which ways are the most effective, and could we use social media, newspaper, television, and the school website to communicate with parents? Identification of the problem. The overall problem as I see it is that number 1, JFK School doesn't seem to have an adequate positive parental involvement piece within the school, and number 2, the school doesn't appear to have effective communication channels set up to communicate the mission of the school, including increasing parental involvement, which increases student achievement. On to Category 2, Proposed Plan of Action with Appropriate Strategies for Implementation. The proposed plan of action. Continue with the parent meeting as scheduled with an agenda in place and get feedback from those present on ways to increase parental involvement. After the meeting, number 1, I want to better understand the community that I'm serving, so I will meet with the superintendent, other administrators, and potentially service organizations within the district to obtain information about the demographics of the district and make inferences on ways to increase parental involvement. Number 2, identify ways and communicate to staff how we can increase parental involvement via the communication channels that are approved for use within the district and those communicated to us from the parents at the meeting. And number 3, implementation of the approved communications channel to parents would be the next step, and specifically communicate the parent meeting to them. My proposed plan of action continued. Number 4, evaluate how implementation of the communication channels has impacted parental involvement and make further decisions based on what is effective. Number 5, successful implementation is the goal, so continue to monitor the effectiveness. If parents are increasing involvement, it'll be a success. Continue on with agendas for helping students. If parental involvement is not increasing, continue to look for ways to involve them. Number 6, continue to schedule parent meetings, implementing different communication channels to see what works. Category 3, resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. What is best for students? The implementation of a parent organization promotes the success of every student through collaboration and positive relationships with families and caregivers, as stated in ISLLC Standard 4.3. The assumption is also that with more parental involvement, there will also be increased positive relationships with community partners, as the parents may work with those organizations also. Category 3 continued, resolution to the problem. Within the case study, it wasn't clear if the meeting took place or not. My resolution to the problem would be to go ahead with the meeting. As a parent, it would be a bad PR move, or I would perceive it to be, if I took the time to attend a meeting and the administration decided that there wasn't enough people to go ahead with it. If the parents took the time to come, they're obviously the first to extend the olive branch to get the process of a larger organization of parents started. Use it to the advantage of the children that we're serving. Category 4, debrief the problem through reflection and by identifying issues. What was I thinking, feeling, and valuing? As a future administrator, I was a little upset with the current principal's lack of willingness to implement a parent organization without a lot of prodding. In my mind, I was kind of putting him into a category of some administrators that I've met in the past and that I've worked with that kind of put the career into autopilot mode, and they don't attempt to embrace the growth and the promotion of the schools that they serve. The if it isn't broken, don't fix it mentality. Also continued with what was I thinking, feeling, and valuing. What I value is the participation of parents within the school setting, creating a positive climate where parents feel welcome to discuss issues and promote the well-being of the school benefits all involved. Positive school-to-community relations is the overall goal to a successful school district. What issues are still unresolved? The implementation of internal and external public communication sources and the involvement of parents via an organization that meets regularly. Reflection on Standard 4. By investigating and implementing how to effectively communicate with parents to increase parental involvement, we're showing collaboration between the school entity and its stakeholders as outlined in Standard 4. By continuing with the meeting, I was attempting to collaborate with parents. By speaking with the superintendent, administrators, and service organizations, I was involving the community in responding to the diverse needs of my community.